Hey everybody, welcome back to kaboom. It's your host Robbie, and today we're going to blow up another bad security idea. So today we're going to do a daily BugForge challenge from BugForge.io, and it's going to be about their web application called Tanuki, which is a flashcard app. So the goal of this objective is, can we change user data on another person? So if you're ready, let's go ahead and get started. Okay everybody, so let's take a look at the Tanuki web app. So we talked earlier that this is like a flashcard app. As you can see, it's pretty bare boned. And we have to kind of find how we could manipulate like data from like another user, which I think it will be very difficult because we only have decks, we have stats, and in the stats section actually there's no leaderboard, so kind of hard to find usernames. But we do see kind of our profile. We say, okay, I can kind of manipulate something, I can add something, no big deal. So what we're going to do, actually, we're just going to go ahead and maybe change the letter just to update our profile, just to see if there's anything that might pop up. So let's go through Burp Suite really quick. Let's go ahead and look at our HTTP history for a second. All right, so as you can see, actually, in this section, we can actually see where I was able to update that, and we have some JSON data. So this is quite useful. So actually what I want to do is I actually want to take this and I'm going to put this into Intruder, and we're going to kind of do some buzzing, see if we can find some information. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go ahead and highlight just kaboom, and we're going to see if we can find any information. So we're going to set up our payload. So we're just going to set up something here. Nothing too complicated, just because, you know, we want to make things simple. So we're going to go to user, share, sec lists, and then we're going to fuzz, I believe. It's been a while since I've looked at these. No. So let's see, usernames. And we'll use Zato 10 million, just a basic one. Okay, so we'll let that run. So now that we have our simple list ready, we're just going to do a simple attack. Actually, I think sometimes using these types of tools are really useful because a lot of times when we're doing fuzzing, it can be kind of time consuming, it can be kind of tiring. So not always the greatest. So when we run these attacks, I think this kind of helps us automate the process a bit, which can be cool, but for some people, they may not like it. They kind of maybe like traditional fuzzing or whatever. But for me, I like web attacks like this because it's easier to follow, easier to manage, you know, stuff like this. So let's see. Why are we not working? Okay, it's lagging a little bit. Okay, got all that mumbo jumbo. Actually, I don't even know what happened. I may have broken something here. So we will see if it will actually perform the attack. Okay, I hope so, but you never know. So let's see what happens. So let's see. Let's go ahead and stop here, just because the bad part about Burp Suite, it's very like slow, so we may not get a lot of good answers. So let's go ahead and look at our status codes here. So here actually we see a lot of 404s, but here we actually see 401 for admin, which is interesting. So we can kind of assume that maybe there's something interesting with this. So what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to go ahead and say that this could be a finding. So let's go ahead and prove that process. So let's go ahead and get rid of the attack. And we're going to take this and we're going to throw it into repeater. And we're going to check for ourselves. So let's see what we got. So we saw that admin was a 400. So let's see if we can actually pull some information from that. Okay, so we can't actually pull that. So let's actually get rid of our JSON information. And let's change this to a GET request. All right, so looking for us, there is a profile called admin. That's the admin endpoint. So this is quite nice. So we see we have the email, full name, role, admin, all that stuff. Okay, so now the big goal is we want to go ahead and change some information. So now that we are aware of this, we know how to do this. Let's go back and let's see if we can actually do it. I think that's kind of the big goal, right? So let's see if we can change some information here. So we have kaboom, kaboom, all that stuff. So what we should ideally do is we should probably get rid of the email. And I think that'll be the cleanest way to check if this functionality will work. Okay, and then we can even kind of get rid of the full name if we want to, but okay, let's see. So let's see what we got. Let's see if it'll accept it. And it did. So now I was able to actually completely get rid of email and the full name. And that actually revealed the bug. So very, very interesting, very critical vulnerability. So On a CVSS score, we're going to put this as 8.8 just because we were able to actually manipulate someone else's information. So this is like a BOLA. So very, very important. Okay, so now we know the bad things that can happen, and now we know we need to be careful. Okay, so guys, hopefully you guys liked this lab. I think it was really, really fun for me. And if you guys are ready for blowing up more bad security, stay tuned for the next episode of Kaboom Sec. Until next time.